All right, so now we're into the purchases area of the tutorial. What I've done is I've opened a sample company file called Sample Pro Hockey School, which is, you can also do this if you just wanted to play around in QuickBooks without actually affecting your file or your company. So you can practice or make entries and just get familiarized with QuickBooks without creating entries in your company file that you maybe need to delete later. And this will give you a better idea of what your reports will look like since the other template was blank. Okay, so we're going to concentrate on vendors now. So you have different options here. You can, when you want to enter a bill, as you can see, there are lists here on the top, which you can actually set up through View, and you can add these so that they're quick to get to. But there's always other ways to get to them. So this one actually has bill in the menu on the top. But if you don't have it on yours, you just need to go under vendors and enter bills. So then you'll see the bill. This is this is bills that you are going to be entering. For instance, today, or the date that the bill is dated. Say it's let's just say it's Dobson's Properties. And so if when you're first starting out, obviously your vendors list is going to be blank. So you're going to go up to Add New, and you can set up your vendor. This is the name that only you will see, and then these are the names. This is the information that that will be entered, and you can go get as detailed as you like, and then the address, and if the vendor, the payee, for instance, is a person, and but it's under an actual company name, but they want you to write the check out to their personal name, you can change it right here as print on check as. So then you just click OK, and then you'll have all the information that you just entered. And in QuickBooks, you use the tab button, you don't use the enter key. Enter is actually to process, so be careful with that. If you just want to toggle between areas, you just hit the tab key. So you're going to enter the date on the invoice number. If there is no invoice number, just the month that it's pertaining to. Like if it's, say, a TELUS bill or a Rogers bill, sometimes they don't have an invoice number. Just put down October 2015 or whatever you want. The total amount on the bill, including taxes, and then you're going to go under, for instance, if it's you can toggle down and look up your template on your template here on your chart of accounts. Sorry, you can choose phone, and then tax is exempt because you will see tax on the bill, but you don't get to claim that tax as an input tax credit because you're not going to be registered with GST. So you're always going to put exempt. So the amount that's in here will be the same amount that's up here. And that goes for all your bills. So if you do have it, if the tax amount does show up in here, it means that you haven't clicked exempt on this, which is extremely important because you don't want to be tracking your GST paid. So let's for instance, let's just go December 2014, $500. And then if you wanted to write a memo just to remind yourself what this bill is, if it's not self-explanatory, you can write anything you'd like in here, so that when you pull up this bill again, if you can't remember what it was for, you can put yourself in a little reminder, and then you just go save and close. And I don't know, yours won't say that. It's just because they're setting it up as inventory. They're tracking inventory on this sample company, which you won't be doing, of course. So that's the way that you would enter the bill that's to be paid at a later date. And then if you want to see who you owe money to, then any reports you want to look at, you have to go up to reports, and then of course you go to vendors, and then you can do your vendor balance summary or your aged. I usually do the age summary, and this is again is the sample company, so it's just a sample of what, there's the one I just entered, the 500, and then this company owes this amount to all of these people. So for instance, if I want to pay, say, Blitz Marketing, then I would go to vendors, pay bills, and you'll see all of these amounts that were on the, actually I'm going to view my open windows list because I can look back at my aging summary. So all of these amounts here are reflected in your report. So if you want to pay Blitz Marketing, you just click on it. It tells you can actually pay more than one if you're paying them all on the same day. You can pay more than one at the same time. But for now, we're just going to pay the one. And if, say, the amount is not correct or there's anything that you want to look at, you can actually go to the bill to look at the original invoice and say, oh yeah, okay, that's right. Yes, I do need to pay that. You can get out of that screen. So go pay, and then you go the payment date, which is, whatever it is. And then if you want to pay by check or credit card or cash, you choose how you're paying it. Pay by check. Now, if you have computerized checks that you want to print, then you would go to be printed. And if you're handwriting the checks, then you're going to go assign check number, and you'll select your bank account. So if you say you want to pay by Visa and there's no Visa here, then you can go add new and leave it under bank, because this will allow you to pay your bills. And then you go, TD Visa, and basically that's it. I wouldn't recommend entering account numbers because just for security purposes. And then just save and close. And then it pops up little messages for you to help you along. And then you go pay selected. It gives you an opportunity to put in your check number here. So go 001. Lets you confirm the date and everything. Okay. And then you can either pay more bills, so you go back to that original screen again, or you can click done and it'll get you out of that screen. So when we go back to our trial balance, which is shows you every single thing that's gone on through your account for this period of time. So if you want to look at this year, this fiscal year, and any one of these figures, if you double click on them, you can see everything that happened in this year. So if we go to January, because we actually paid that bill. Sorry, it just keeps coming up with messages here. If you want to look at what you've paid out of the bank or what went into the bank, everything's right here, and you can actually sort it by amount, by any of these headings. So if you're looking up, say, what did I spend on Dobson Properties? Go under sort by name, and then you just look at Dobson Properties, and you can see all the checks you wrote to them. And you can split it up by amount, which goes in numerical value or dollar value. So you get the idea. But default is basically by date. So that's a really handy tool, is if you wanted to look at, or if you weren't sure of where something was posted to. If you know for sure that you posted it to, for instance, phone, you can click on phone, and then you can double click and you can find out, you can find where your original entry went to during that, doing it that way.